By now, everyone knows that in a presidential year, Iowans cast the first votes that count. But few outside the state have a handle on how this quirky and complicated system works, except our senior political correspondent, Jeff Greenfield, who knows it well and will explain it to us all.
Well, Katie, this campaign night tomorrow will be the first test of the presidential campaign. But what happens here is no delegates are selected to the national conventions. Instead, this is a popularity contest, in effect, and the two parties do it in radically different ways. Both parties hold caucuses in each of Iowa's 1,781 precincts. They might be in a school, a church, a library, even a home. But that's where the similarity ends.
She's going to lead our nation with conservative principles. I'm excited to support it.
The Republican process is simple, as this caucus training video shows. You show up at 7 p.m., declare you are a registered Republican. If not, you can register right then and there. And after short speeches by candidates' backers...
It's just a blank sheet of paper. You simply write down the name, and that's collected, and you're done.
A secret ballot, a straight-up count. The candidate with the most votes wins. A model of simplicity. But the Democrats, not so much.
The registration line is nearing an end.
Democrats show up at 6:30. The doors close at 7. And then, instead of a secret ballot, caucus goers publicly declare their choices by moving into different corners of the room, into presidential preference groups.
And he's got so much enthusiasm out there that it's unbelievable.
There shouldn't even be any war.
As this 2004 caucus in Adair shows, you have to stand up in front of perhaps your boss or spouse and declare your choice. Doesn't that raise the possibility of intimidation?
It is neighbors talking to neighbors about who they're selecting for their nominee. It is free and it is open, and you are there of your own volition.
A head count is taken, and critically, a candidate must achieve a certain level of support, usually 15%, to achieve viability. So if there are 50 people in the room, you must have at least 8 in your corner to be viable. You might think of this as a first step in an elimination round. If your candidate is declared not viable, you can either go home or realign, joining up with a candidate who has survived by moving into another corner of the room.
You know what?
What happens then is something between earnest debate and old-fashioned horse trading, as in 2004 when backers of John Kerry and John Edwards argued and pleaded with backers of Howard Dean to join up with them.
So I think we can sway the Dean people over to the Kerry camp.
Once realignment is done, a final head count is made, and each precinct awards delegates not to the national conventions, but to the Iowa Democratic County conventions. Drake University professor Dennis Goldford does his best to explain.
It's the number of the people in the preference group times the number of delegates that precinct sends to the county convention, divided by the total number of caucus participants in that precinct.
Right. What really matters, what everybody will be talking about, of course, is the final statewide percentages for Clinton, Edwards, Obamas, and all the other Democrats.
Meanwhile, Jeff, after all the money, the messages, the media, the endless polls, what do you expect will make a headline out of here?
The unexpected. A measurable win or loss for one of the Democrats, a surge by somebody like John McCain or Fred Thompson, and also the winnowing out. We may see as many as 4 candidates drop out of this race after Iowa.
All right. We'll talk about it more tomorrow night. Jeff Greenfield, thanks so much.